This is 5 Minute Feng Shui, episode 46, The Feng Shui of Debt. Welcome to the 5 Minute Feng Shui podcast, where each week I talk about how to move energy and make money. You'll learn how to create a prosperous home and an abundant life using classical Chinese Feng Shui. I'm your host, Katie Weber, publisher of the Red Lotus Letter, Feng Shui Easing for Wealth. Each week, I'll cover Feng Shui topics that can help you improve your life, share inspiring stories, and always end with 3 easy-to-implement Feng Shui tips that you can put to work right away, and usually in about 5 minutes. Now let's get started on the 5 minutes that could change your life. Today we're talking about money, and specifically we're talking about debt. And there is a whole energy around debt, just like there's a whole energy around money. Now, everyone says that money doesn't buy happiness, and it doesn't. It just buys everything else. It pays the rent, buys your groceries, that kind of thing. You know, money is a type of energy that, like food, when it's in abundant supply, we're usually happy. But when it's not, it feels like starvation and like hunger pangs. You feel the psychological and the spiritual drain of a debt hanging over you. And the worry and dread and fear over time can build up. And that really affects your personal energy level. It affects the energy level of your home and how you're living. And it becomes a point of focus of your energy. And what we want to do today is talk about how you can change and shift your energy. Because remember, Feng Shui is not just about moving a frog in your house. It's not just about hanging a wind chime. Feng Shui is made up of 3 types of energy, and that is the energy of your home, and the energy of you, what you do, and then there's the energy, the heaven energy. It's actually called 3 types of, or the 3 types of luck, which is earth luck, man luck, and heaven luck. And heaven luck is who we're born to, where we're born. Do we have blue eyes? We have brown eyes. We have a blonde hair or brown hair, whatever the course may be. And that's something we can't change. But we can change our earth luck, which is Feng Shui, how we arrange our homes, how we live. And we can change our man luck, which is how we apply ourselves. These are the essential ingredients to changing your life, is changing your home and changing your actions. And we're going to talk about how to do both, because both are absolutely essential when we're talking about debt. Like I said, if I could tell you where to hang a wind chime and all your debt would be gone, let me tell you, I'd be a rich woman, and I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be, I don't know what, somewhere on the Riviera or something like that. But be that as it may, this is part of my man luck, is I have built this life and business doing what I want. You know, having a business around Feng Shui, and I believe that that's a wealth that I have. But it's because I've applied myself too. I built this business by my actions. I built it by the home that surrounds me and supports me. And I want to help you create the actions in your life that you act on and that you have in your home that surrounds you, that will support you getting out of that debt. And so let's talk about some ideas about Feng Shui and how to speed you up getting out of that hole and coming over to the plus side of the accounting sheet. So let's talk about perking up the income and money location. Now, the north is your income sector. This is your career, your salary, where the money is that it comes through into your life. Now, we have to pay that attention because this is a lot of times how we get out of debt, is by increasing the money that we earn through our salary, or maybe a job promotion, or a new job, or getting a job. We want to activate this corner. So you always want to give it some good Feng Shui attention, like buying some pretty purple flowers or something that represents wealth to you in the north corner of your home, your living room or your bedroom. You might want to add water symbols, especially like things like conch shells. Those are very auspicious. I want to tell you, if you can get a conch shell, you can get them online. Add one to the north corner of your living room. If you just did nothing else, I think that would help you enormously. You can also add a picture of a waterfall. You can buy a poster of a waterfall, add that in the north corner of your living room or your home. Now, we don't want to add any water elements in your bedroom, not even water images. So if the north corner of your home is in your bedroom, we don't want to add any water elements or symbols there other than a conch shell. You can add a conch shell in your bedroom. That's perfectly fine. But those water symbols and like shells or images of waterfalls, for example, these will help promote your income and opportunity energy. If you follow the flying stars for the annual or monthly, you're going to want to also activate the 1 star wherever it flies. But that's for people that follow my forecasts with monthly and annual recommendations. But otherwise, just activating that north corner with a water symbol or element will absolutely help you. We just want to make sure, though, that we avoid water or any kind of flowers in the bedroom, though. So really important. You can also pay attention to the north corner of your yard or garden, adding a fountain out there, planting some beautiful purple flowers. That's another way to add some energy. Another thing that you can do is, now I talked about the differences between the 2 types of Feng Shui, which is Black Hat and traditional Chinese Feng Shui, in an earlier podcast. Now, there's this one thing that I do follow from Black Hat Feng Shui, and I've seen good results from it, and that's to add a black doormat at your front door. And that's because money and opportunity come through your front door. And that's always a great way to activate for more money. Add a new black doormat at your front door to help you bring some new opportunities. All right, now let's talk about your actual wallet or your purse. There's a real thing about money. Sometimes when we're having a hard time and difficulties with money, we kind of get sloppy with it, you know? Yeah, maybe we got a few dollar bills, we just ram it in our wallet and go on about our day. You know, we just stuff our credit cards back into the slots and off we go. We don't pay attention to whether they're upright, whether they're put in there nice and neatly, whether the bills are in order, like 1s in the front, 20s in the back, or 100s in the back, whatever, however your cash rolls. It's really important to show money respect, and it will respect you. So make sure that your wallet looks good and that it's in good repair, and that your purse is, that there's no stains on the bottom, that kind of thing. Make sure that your money bills are all organized in your wallet, and make it a point not to put anything in your wallet upside down. I always say that, that I had a friend who she would always break cookies in half, and she said, if I break them in half, the calories fall out. I think that cracks me up. And I always say that if I turn money upside down, or I turn credit cards upside down, that the money will fall out, and I want to keep the money in them. Anyway, so you always want to show that respect to money. So streamline and organize your wallet. Then cut down those credit cards. Really, if you don't, for instance, there's a national retailer, I won't say which one, and I have their credit card. I absolutely have not shopped there in forever, and I don't know that I'm going to ever shop there. And do I have that credit card in my wallet? Yeah, I did. And I recently swapped out my wallets, and I saw that in there, and I said, you know what? I don't shop there. I'm not going to spend there. Why do I carry that card? So it got cut up, and I got rid of it. I also cut down on, like, for instance, I only have two credit cards that I use for my work and my work life, and I used to have 3. And I find that, I use 2 for different reasons. One is for expenses that just kind of come and go, and one is for like monthly payments that, for instance, my website hosting, or I have a software program that bills me monthly, and it just goes on to the same credit card every month. So I always know that those same charges are going to be on that credit card. That's what I want you to be thinking about, is what credit cards can I get rid of? How can I use credit cards differently? So for instance, if you have recurring payments, you put one credit card, dedicate that credit card to those recurring payments rather than having recurring payments on a variety of them. I think that's very helpful for you in terms of being more organized. Also, take out the receipts. If you have receipts, now I carry a plastic envelope in my purse, and I don't put receipts in my wallet. I put them inside the plastic envelope because I'm in business and I have to keep those business receipts, and I've just gotten where I keep receipts, period. And that way, those receipts are always kept in a nice, neat place. And if there's a charge that I want to, that doesn't seem right, I can pull out the receipt, and I always have that there. And that's a good way. It's a really organized way to keep track of those receipts. And again, back to your wallet. Always make sure that you put everything in orderly, and you're going to streamline as much as you can. That'll make a difference for you. And avoid throwing change in the bottom of your purse. It's important that we respect money in even the smallest denominations. Yes, I will bend over and pick up a penny. I will pick up a nickel off the ground. And every time I do, I always say, "In God I trust," and I pick that up and stick it in my pocket. And I'm a penny richer, or whatever it is. Anyway, so I always look for that. Anyhow, let's move on to debt and how you can kind of take some of the teeth out of it. Now, debt is a lot like a boogeyman, right? When you're a kid, you didn't walk in the house with the lights out. We have the fear of this lurking monster that in the dark is so much worse in our minds than it actually is. And there actually is no boogeyman in the house. We turn the light on and everything. It's just the sofa, that we were afraid of. It's really important that you take some of the fear and bite out of debt by making your debt into something that you can see, instead of something that it lives in your mind. And I can't say how important it is to put things and commit things to paper, like wishes, goals, objectives, anything that you want to accomplish, like removing debt from your life. We want to commit that to paper. So my suggestion is to take some of the fear and bite out of debt by making yourself a little poster with a thermometer like the charity drives use, and start with the big number, like the amount you owe on the bottom, and then put 0 up at the top of the thermometer. And then you can fill in with the red. Now, a lot of people talk about, I'm in the black and I'm in the red. Now, in Chinese thought, being in the red means that's a positive, whereas in the West we think of being in the black as the positive. Well, I go with whatever color is more meaningful to you. I personally like red. I stick with that. I like my wallet energized. I carry a red wallet. I like to use the red color, but that's me. But so make that goals. So let's say I'm just going to make up a number. Let's say that you have $1,000 that you owe. Make the amount 1,000 at the bottom of the thermometer, and then at various points up at the thermometer, make 0 at the top, and then maybe 250, and then 500, and then 750. And you're going to work toward those goals. And when you see those numbers and you break it down like that, and it's actually on paper, and you can color it in with a red or a black marker, it really makes a difference in how you start seeing your debt and how you make your debt a thing. Because as long as it's something that lives outside of you, you never have a real full grasp of it. But when you see it on paper and your hand is touching that and writing this down, suddenly that it's like it dispels the boogeyman kind of thing. It becomes real. It becomes something you can actually tackle. So you want to see your debt. It makes it real, makes it visual, and more importantly, it links your eyes, your heart, and your head together toward eliminating it, which is a lot more powerful for manifesting more money and opportunities that will get you out of debt. So I personally like using red to energize paying off your debt. So let's make that debt a real thing and not just live with this nebulous fear in your mind. We've got to take it out of that, right? We got to turn the lights on the boogeyman, right? Next, let's talk about displaying money symbols. Feng Shui money symbols are really important, like a fountain in the southeast corner of your home or living room to help you save money. Now, when you want to buy a fountain, remember how much water do you want that to hold? Well, how much money do you want, right? We want to have a fountain that actually holds some water. And those little fountains that you buy at home stores and stuff like that, they might maybe hold 8 ounces of water. I would say just rip the little fountain part out of it and put it in a pretty bowl with some rocks and add your own water, and then you've got a fountain that actually holds some water. And that's important. We want more water means more money. And that's what we're trying to do is stimulate your money potential. That's to earn money, to get a promotion, a raise, something like that. So we're gonna add these symbols in our home, like a fountain in the southeast corner. That's an excellent way to stimulate accumulating money. The other thing you can do is add a protector by your front door. This could be a figure that you have of a dog. It could be something like a Chinese symbol, such as food dogs, or one of my favorite guys is called Quan Kung. He's called the god of wealth or god of war. Actually, both. He does double duty, and he carries a long sword, and he's a great protector because you want your home protected, and especially with you want your money not only to accumulate more, you want it protected. So like things from theft or fraud, that kind of thing, he'll protect you. I also want you to think about helping and enhancing your career. So a terrific money symbol for that is called a dragon tortoise, and that can go. I like to have it behind me and I have one behind me on my credenza at where I work, because a dragon tortoise is a hardworking hybrid. It's a cross between a tortoise and a dragon, just like it sounds, and this is the symbol that helps you with making more money, energizing your career, energizing you for opportunities. So this will help you attract more money. It's really it's something that will add to your income and also add to your growth. So you might see that you can apply for a new job or a promotion and you'll get it. This is one of those things that we want to be thinking of. Remember, part of your action of debt is what you're doing for yourself. So for instance, one time my husband and I, we were looking at expenses. This is when we were first married, like many newly married couples, money's tight. And we were talking about, we can cut these coupons here, we can cut this cable out here, and we can do, I don't know, we were looking at all different kinds of ways we could cut expenses. And finally we said, you know what? We don't need to cut expenses. We're about down to the bone. We need to make more money. It was just like somebody, the light went on for both of us. And we started applying for jobs that paid more. And guess what? We got those jobs and it paid more. And we haven't looked back since. So a lot of times we're not just looking at paying down a debt, we're looking at earning more money. So when you're thinking about paying off debt and you're thinking about getting out of debt, be thinking of ways you can earn more. It's a really important little mental shift that needs to occur in your mind as well. So think about that. Now, let's talk about setting your eyes on money. So whether that's a picture of a pile of gold or some $100 bills or an image of a bank, keep images of money around you. Put those images of money near you. Keep your television or radio turned on to money shows. Think about money, read about money, listen about money. The more you surround yourself with money, the more money you'll attract. This can be in the form of payments, winnings, promotions, commissions, you name it. Really important that you start talking about money. Talk about it, think about it, read about it, organize it. Whatever you can do, put symbols of money around you. You want your eyes to see money. It's not always about debt. You have to remember, when you focus on the debt, you're focusing on the negative. We want to focus on the positive, which is money. If you haven't done any kind of investing, now's the time to just start reading about it. Just start that flow. We're trying to change your chi from one that is about negativity and loss and debt, and one toward accumulation and growth and abundance. So that's where we've got to make that shift, and it's really important you do that. Now, it's also important when it comes to setting your eyes on money that you see yourself accumulate money. A lot of times we just see the bills that come in and we don't see anything in terms of accumulation. And it's really important that you see money building and growing. And I really want you to focus on getting a glass jar. If you have change, put that change in it. When it turns into enough money, turn it into bills. You have an extra $1 or $5 in your wallet, throw that in. I like a nice big glass jar. Put that money in. It doesn't matter. If it's all you got is a quarter, put a quarter in there. All you got is a dollar bill, put that dollar in there. I want you to see money accumulating. That's a part of seeing a shift. It's not just money, a check that you're writing or a bill that you're paying that comes in, or going online and doing a draft of your account to pay a bill. You've got to see money start to accumulate for yourself. Now, let's talk about soaking up some money energy. Next time you go to the bank, don't hide behind an ATM. Walk inside the bank. Talk to the teller. Look around. Your money's there with millions of other dollars. Soak in that money energy of your banking establishment. And you're one of their customers, regardless of whether you got $10 or $1 million. Walk out of that bank by focusing on wealth and abundance. Many times when it comes to having debt, we don't want to pay attention to the bills. We don't want to organize our financial files. We just want to hide at the ATM and we don't want to face a teller. You go in there and face a teller. Go in and withdraw your money person to person. Make banking a personal and positive interaction. It's so important. It's about shifting your energy. This is really important, especially if you're in debt. You want to shift that energy. And if you've been doing these habits all along and you just go to the ATM and you just throw your bills in a corner and you ignore it, and that happens a lot with debt. We just kind of want to ignore things. We need to face up to stuff. What I found was, I'll be honest with you, it's a true confession here. I used to hate looking at money. I hated it. I hated handling it. I didn't like it. And I think it was because when I graduated from college, I started out with a job that didn't pay that great, and money was an issue, and I had difficulties, and I struggled. And the more I struggled, the more I avoided money. And then I said, you know what? What's gotten me this far is avoidance. And I'm in a circumstance where I've got money for debt from student loans, and I'm struggling with my finances. I need to face up to it. I need to start putting the energy to looking at what my finances are, how I can do better, and being organized about it. Because those late fees add up, right? And that was happening to me. And what was funny was when I made that shift and I started paying more and more attention to money, my circumstances changed. It all started to move in a different direction. So I highly recommend start looking at your money, even if it's not the picture you want, but do it because it's going to change for you. Again, the more you put the focus on the money, the more money will focus on you. And that's what we want. Okay, let's talk about adding. Too often we think about like cutting our expenses. So we talked about that a little bit earlier. And if you have any pricey expenditures like mani-pedis or lattes, if you go out for coffee every day, hey, this one's on you. You spend $4 a day, over the course of the year, that's an extra $1,000. And I bet $1,000 would go a long way toward your debt. Those things need to stop. Start minimizing those accounts that you have. So things, whether it's an expensive phone bill, get a cheaper one. Get a cheaper cable bill. Get your spending under control. Even those $1 and $2 and $3 payments, like for a latte every day, or coffee or lunch or something like that. Bring your lunch. I make coffee every single day with a Cuisinart coffee maker. I never buy. I invest in Starbucks. I don't buy from Starbucks. Anyway, I think their coffee is too expensive, and I like mine better. Anyway, so get yourself a coffee maker, and you'll save time on your way into work too. So watch those little expenses. It's real easy to fritter money. I also want you to learn to add, not subtract. What are some ways you can make some extra money? I bet you have a skill. Maybe you can organize. Maybe you can do babysitting, pet sitting, house sitting. Think of simple ways that you can add money to your bottom line to pay off those debts, and do it as much as you can. Look in your closet. I bet you got clothes you never wear. There's a great place online called Poshmark, and sell your clothes. A lot of people do that. A lot of people go to consignment stores, buy those clothes, and then turn around and put them on Poshmark and make a hefty profit. Find ways that you can start making money. Maybe you can put some of your hobby jewelry making on Etsy. Find ways to add to your bottom line, not just subtract. All right, so let's talk about the debt is a drag. It really is. Debt drags you down, and overspending or being stuck with a bill after a divorce, for example, can make you feel resentful. Now, if you didn't buy that jet ski, but the divorce judge saddled you with the bill, it's important that you stay emotionally neutral. And that's true no matter what the bill or your debt is about. When you get into the emotion of beating yourself up for that shopping trip or all those restaurant nights you went to eat out, or you have anger over a bill that you didn't want, or a tax payment that feels unfair, when you hold on to that emotion that this is not fair, or I don't like it, or I resent having to pay for what I spent my money on now that I have to pay for it, that keeps you trapped in the debt energy. So you've got to learn to manage your emotions and just go, I have this debt, and just be neutral about it and go, I am going to eliminate it. It's going down and I am going to get rid of it. But you're going to have to unhook from the emotion. So unplug from the anger, unplug the cord, from the anger switch or the resentment switch, whatever that is, because it really hurts you emotionally, and it keeps you trapped in that energy, most importantly. Now let's talk about paying more and be more free. So this jet ski that I was talking about, this is a real thing. There was a divorced woman I knew who was stuck with a $3,000 bill for the remaining payment on a jet ski when her divorce was finalized. Her husband had bought one, and the $3,000 was left on the payments. And she didn't get the jet ski. She just got the bill, and she was so mad about it and carried on about how unfair it was. And she took out her resentment for having to pay for this jet ski with that sort of it wasn't fair by paying the absolute monthly minimum. And guess who ended up paying almost $5,000 for that $3,000 bill? She did. Because she was so mad, and she couldn't see, you know what, I'm just going to knuckle down. I'm going to sell some stuff in my closet, and I'm going to make some extra money, and it's all going to go to that bill, and I'm just going to get out from under this, because I got out from under my marriage. It wasn't working, and I'm going to get out from under this jet ski. But she ended up paying. She didn't understand. She thought she was paying $3,000 for a jet ski that she didn't want her own. But really what she was paying was $3,000 for her freedom from this relationship. So think about your perspective about your money and change it if you need to, because it really makes a difference of the way you perceive your debt. And remember, if it was money that you spent, then it's on you. So you've got to come clean about it and feel good that, you know what, I'm going to handle this now. And that's what you feel good about. Don't beat yourself up. What's done is done. It's history. It's over. It's done. Let's talk about what you can do to be positive now about you're approaching this from a better state of mind. And hey, I know what I did, and I'm not going to make that mistake, and I'm going to get out from under this. All right, now let's talk about money chi. We want to move your chi. So make sure that you streamline your home as much as you can. So that means removing excess clutter and clearing up any floor space. If you've got stuff, stacked up around on the floors, pick that up. Clear off the counters in your bathroom. The more clutter and the more accumulation of stuff that you have on the kitchen counters, the dresser in your bedroom, the bathroom counters, if you have visual clutter everywhere, I'm going to say this, it's money constipation. It's chi constipation. It's just going to stop everything up. And money is flowing. If you want money to come in and money to pay this debt, we've got to get that energy flowing. right? So we've got to move the chi. So moving the chi quickly means money arrives to you quickly. So pick up those piles of clothes, pick up the shoes and papers from the floor and under the bed, near your doors, in your closet. If you've got all kinds of shoes stacked up at the front door, or at the door where you enter, clear all that up too, and go through your closets and drawers and clean them out one at a time. The more you can streamline and clear things up, the more energy can flow to you. That means the more money can flow to you. All right, we're at the end. I know this was a little bit longer episode, but I hope it was helpful for you, because it's really about shifting energy. Money is just energy. Don't forget that. And debt is too, but but debt is the drag energy, right? And we've got to get that energy moving in a new direction, moving forward, getting unstuck, getting it to move faster, right? Because that brings opportunities, and that helps you make more money as well. So let's talk about your 3 tips for moving energy and getting out of debt. Tip number 1 is to pay yourself first. Yeah, you probably have heard that all your life, but it's really important. I want you to start an account where money accumulates. Many times if people are in debt, they think, I can't possibly save anything. Well, this is really important, because we've got to shift your energy from just being a bill-paying machine to a paying yourself machine. And even if you can only put $5 a month into a savings account or an investment account, I want you to put it into some kind of an account where it can grow, and you don't touch it ever, ever, ever. Pay yourself first. Get to see that you are the priority. It's important that you do this symbolically. It's important that you do it energetically, because when you pay yourself first and you go into that bank, because now you're going to walk into the bank, you're not going to do deposits with your smartphone. You're not going to do it by the ATM. You're going to walk into the bank and you'll withdraw money and you'll deposit money into that account. And like I said, don't care if it's just $5 or $10, or set it up so that you have on your account where it automatically does it. Every month you send over $100 to a savings account. Do that for yourself. Find an amount that you can manage each month. And like I said, even if it's only $5, do that. It's really important, and set it up so that happens before any debt is paid, and it shifts your energy. All right, number 2, cut down on that wallet clutter. Really make sure that you make an effort to keep your wallet and your purse really clean, really neat, really organized. Get a plastic envelope to put your receipts in. Take out those credit cards you no longer use. Make sure your credit cards are all put in right side up. Make sure you organize your bills all right side up, because, right, the money will fall out if it's upside down. So keep that very organized. That's a symbol of your wealth. So remember, your wallet and your purse are a symbol of your wealth. So make sure that it symbolizes wealth, right? All right, number 3. Schedule your money. This is something that's really important. I find that many times people don't pay attention to their money and they get into money trouble. And that's the lesson I learned. It happened to me when I got out of college. I didn't want to fool with it. I didn't like it. I wasn't making enough. It was really hard financially. And I kept ignoring it and kept ignoring it. And what did it do? Did it get better? No, it didn't get better. It got worse. Like a lot of things that, just like a leak, water, a dripping faucet. Is the faucet going to fix itself and stop dripping all of a sudden? No, it's not. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's really going to keep you up, and then you're going to lose money because you're going to spend a lot of money on wasted water. And that's the same idea about money. The less you pay attention to it, the less you have. Just remember that. The more you pay attention to it, typically, the more you have. Start paying attention to it. That means schedule your credit card payments. Create a filing system for it. Start reading about money. Start learning about investments. Even if you don't have money to invest, and I think everybody does. I think everybody can invest $25 a month. I really do. Start looking at and learning about money and being organized about it. Set up a payment that your credit cards, that you pay them every 1st and 15th of the month, for example. That's what I do. The 15th is my payment date. So I know when the 15th comes, it's time for me to pay my credit card bills. And that's what happens at the 15th. And I even have a calendar, and it's written. I have it marked out all the way to December. And every year I get a brand new calendar, and I write on the 15th of every single month, pay bills in red. I want you to do the same thing too. Circle it on the calendar. Start being organized. Schedule your money. make sure your payments are never ever late. And if you're scheduled, let's say you set up for the 15th, maybe you circled the 12th and you pay your credit cards on the 12th, or you pay your bills on the 12th. Do that, and it will make all the difference in the world. I hope this episode has been helpful for you. It's something that has changed my life, literally. I like I said, I never really wanted to, even when I was in business, when I first started out, I just didn't want to handle the money thing. And then I started handling it again. After I got out of college, I was doing fine, but in business, I was like, oh, that's not the fun part. And then I started scheduling it. On Monday, I called it Money Mondays. Nothing happened. I didn't answer an email. I barely turned the computer on. That's all I did was I handled any bill that was coming up. I handled all money things on a Monday. And then it got to where I could just pay everything on the 15th, and the 15th is my money day. So I hope that was helpful for you, and that you got some inspiration to get out there, start looking at earning more, start energizing yourself and energizing for earning more money and getting out of debt. Take care, and I'll talk to you the next time. Thanks for listening today to 5 Minute Feng Shui. Be sure to join me on Facebook at facebook.com/Feng Shui Katie. And if you're really ready to move ahead quickly, head over to redlotusletter.com and sign up for my free 4-week e-course, 28 Days to Prosperity. You'll get daily lessons and tips on how to get unstuck and create financial flow in your life. Make it a fantastic day.